Hi, Dana.
Oh, hi Noha.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm better than yesterday, but I'm still sick.
How is it feeling now?
I'm not sure it's the reflux anymore. I think I got a virus because um yesterday I was in so much pain and I was very careful with what I'm eating. Yeah. I took a medication for my reflux in the morning
Okay.
and I didn't have the burning feeling in my throat anymore. It was like a body ache.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure anyway. I'm just trying to recover because I have a lot of work, and the only reason I'm here is I skipped work today.
Okay.
I was
Salamtek.
supposed, huh?
Salamtek.
Nice and thank you.
So were the nuts the only thing you ate that was different?
I'm trying to remember. Uh, I think yeah,
Okay.
on that specific day because it was a Thursday.
Okay.
I had a very long day at work, so usually when I'm at work, I prepare my meals and I eat
Mm.
healthy and well.
Mm.
But I came back overstressed and I started to sort of emotionally eat the nuts.
Mm.
And then I got a guest
Mm.
and I put the nuts to her and we started sharing the bowl and it was a big bowl. So yeah, I remember while eating it, I was like I felt something unsettling at the moment and it hit me very hard in the morning, the next morning.
And
Only because it's smoked, because usually when I eat roasted salted nuts with a controlled amount,
mm.
nothing is wrong with that.
Mm.
Like, I don't feel something goes wrong with that.
And up until that point, you were sticking with fruits, vegetables, animal protein.
Yeah, I barely do anything. Like, I took a bite of something a day before, just one bite.
Of what?
Oh no, something that's like processed, like I don't know, dessert. I don't even remember what it was. I don't even remember.
Okay.
That was one bite.
All right.
I don't think it's the thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Given what you've said about the quantity of nuts that you had and that they were smoked, I'm going to go with the nuts. Like one bite of whatever it is that you had wouldn't trigger this. Um,
Yeah.
but you are still having, it's not a viral issue that you've got right now. Your body is still processing the effects of the nuts. So that can feel like a quote unquote flu or a cold. So if you have a sore throat, if you have body aches, if you have a headache, if you have some mucus coming out, whether through a runny nose or a cough, this is exactly the tools that the body uses to purge whatever is not supposed to be in there. So the smoked nuts, because they are, first of all, nuts, whether they're raw or something is added to them, nuts are on the inflammatory list. So this is why we remove them when we're deep detoxing. So in and of themselves, they can be inflammatory. Different people will have different reactions to them, will have different reactions to the type and to the quantities. So on their own, they can be inflammatory because of the phytic acid, because of the way that they're grown. They can be problematic even if you didn't have them smoked. Now, of course, add to them flavors. The smoking process is a carcinogenic process, which then makes them even more toxic. And then
Is
add
that what?
carcinogenic, which means it can potentially cause cancer. Anything that's smoked. So, like smoked salmon, smoked nuts, anything that has smoked before it, the smoking process can potentially create carcinogenics, which means something that can create cancer in the body.
I
So,
didn't know that.
yes,
I didn't know that. I used to have cancer.
I know. That's what I'm telling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to stay away from anything that's smoked. So even in somebody who doesn't already have sort of a weakened system, this can be problematic. And then, like you said, it wasn't like the day before you just had a bite of something, you had a quantity of it. So you went from a process of where your body was clearing and cleaning and detoxifying and getting rid of toxicity. So where it becomes really easy for your body to communicate with you when something doesn't work, when something is highly inflammatory. So as painful as
And
this,
symptoms will get that high, that aggressive?
yes. Yes. Within 10 minutes to 3 days, you can go from feeling like perfectly fine to, with you, one of your weaknesses is acid reflux. So any pre-existing symptom can flare up instantly. And then, of course, we have the symptoms of the body healing, which people confuse or mistake with the body being sick. So right now, you are not sick at all. Right now, your body is working very, very hard to heal you. You are in the middle of a healing process, not a sick process. Your body is not weakened. Your body has not broken down. Every single symptom you're feeling right now is a direct result of the healing process that the body, ignites on its own. It's not waiting for you to do it to eliminate something that entered the body that shouldn't be there. So the only thing that you can do right now is to be with your body during this process. If you take any kind of medication to suppress the symptoms, then all you'll be doing is you're pushing all of these symptoms and the toxins that the symptoms are trying to push out, you're going to push them all back in. So that at
But
some point,
Jana,
hmm,
I can't not take medication. I can't. It's gonna stay for me for a while. I can't. I
how
need to get on my feet again.
This,
Like I'm not taking
I'm
a
not
lot.
I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying if you take. So this is up to you. So I'm explaining your different options. If you take the medication, it will suppress the process that your body is currently in, which means instead of letting it take as long as it takes, maybe 4 days, maybe 5 days, where the body will purge naturally without any kind of external suppression or any kind of external input, it's going to purge naturally and then you'll be done with it. When you take medications and suppress it, you will find that the cycle will come back much more sooner because you pushed everything back down that still has to find a way out eventually. So this is as you're weighing your
I
options.
could
As
find a way back, even if I didn't eat something
Yeah,
that I'm not supposed to
the
eat.
body's always purging. The body's always in a state of cleansing and detoxifying continuously. Always. Even if you're eating clean and even if you're making an intention to stay eating clean, it's always cleansing. What happens
Mm.
when you are, not taking in as frequently the inflammatory foods? Let's say, not you, but for argument's sake, somebody used to get sick, maybe sick, right? 3 or 4 times a year. Once you start to eat clean, once you remove the inflammatory foods, that can come down to once a year. We also don't want
Mm.
it to be where you never have a cleansing symptom. If you never get a cough or a runny nose or body aches or a little bit of a fever, that means your immune system is not working. We need it to happen, but we need it to happen like very few times during the year, maybe once, maybe twice, and not as intense. So right
Yeah,
now, this is probably, I'm guessing, the first time you're having these major symptoms since we started. So this is a major cleansing
yeah,
cycle that you're in. And the ideal way to get through it as part of your long-term healing is to allow the body to do what it knows how to do perfectly because you're not sick. And the medication is not going to solve it because you're not sick. This isn't a problem to solve.
no, I know that the medication is not going to solve it. I know I'm in the cycle. I know I'm recovering. I feel it.
Yeah.
I the only reason I took yesterday like one painkiller because I was not able to function. I was not able to get out of bed. It was so hard.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, even if I'm interrupting the process, but I I was in such a bad condition. I just wanted to try and get out of bed
Mm.
just to pray. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about work anymore.
Yeah.
And then I felt like, okay, I'm gonna take my reflux medication, which I've stopped for months, even before I started the program with you.
Mm.
Is I know it has a lot of toxins that interferes with the liver, and it's not good to take it for long periods of time. But I also know when I take it, it controls. I have a hole in my. I know that because I investigated my reflux before. I have a hole in my what do they call it? الحجاب الحجاب. آه الحجاب الحاجز اللي هو
Somewhere in your digestive system.
yeah, the top of my stomach, on
Okay.
my top of my stomach. It's the valve where the
Yeah.
acids are controlled. I
Right.
have a hole there, so my body doesn't control the acids that comes out of my stomach
Right.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And the only thing that this medication do is it sort of make a layer, temporary layer,
Right. Right.
over this valve.
Yeah.
And that's why I used to take it at some point for months because I was in a very bad condition, and this is what the doctor prescribed back then.
Right.
And he also prescribed a very strict diet that it was the only way to get out of that loophole I was in.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I'll just take it for a few days and then I'll stop it and I'll resume with my cleansing system. But I had to navigate through because I can't afford. I teach in at university, and this is my students' time. You know,
Right.
I can't afford to be sick that long.
Mm.
It's. I know it sounds. I don't know what it sounds like, but
I mean, it sounds like you're very, very dedicated. That's what it sounds like, right? And your students are
yeah,
very lucky
mm,
to have you. But
I,
and definitely having said everything I've said about pain, there is a point when we would take painkillers because if the pain is unbearable, the way you're describing, okay,
yeah,
having that much pain can create stress in the body where the will have difficulty healing. So there are times when we can identify that it's too much, then definitely you take a painkiller. What I'm referring to is when people just have a regular cold and are constantly popping
um,
Panadol and flu medication just because they have a runny nose and a headache, okay? But deep pain, and you obviously identified that, and we need to, when that happens, give the body a breather because the other extreme of pain is just as bad as eating the inflammatory foods. The body
yeah.
cannot heal if it's under extreme pain. But
Thank you.
I want you to consider like you are incredibly dedicated, but how much of yourself can you give to your students if you are not well?
Yeah,
If you are depleted, and with this dedication you have to your students, and if this you're there for them, you support them, you teach them, they rely on you, there's a consistency where they know that you will be available when you will be available, then rather than seeing that as I can't shift that formula at all, which means I need to be 100% well all the time. And even if I'm unwell, I have to show up. How can you shift that where, you know what? Since I need to always show up 100% and I can't, for whatever reason, not be there for my students, then what can I do to fill me up and make it so that I don't have these dips?
yeah.
Taking some time off for yourself for a few days,
Mm.
but the longer view of this is to make you healthier long term for them. I invite you to consider this. This is not a weakness. This is you
No,
prioritize yourself so that you can be there for your students and take care of your students.
I am on a time off now, but I'm lying in bed like
Good. Good.
I took it not by choice, يعني alhamdulillah.
Well, you know what the body sometimes says when you push it too
I'm
far.
I definitely know that this is what my body's saying because
Yeah.
I was stressing myself.
Yeah.
It's not just with the food. I only had like a bunch of nuts, an extra bunch of nuts when I was overstressed because I overworked myself, and I know that I was aware of that, but I made sort of a stupid decision at the beginning of the semester by taking 4 courses, and it's insane.
Mm.
Yeah.
So your body was
So
saying, you know what? If you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it
uh,
for you.
yeah, so I guess this is why he's doing it for me.
Yeah. The body
Let-
knows. The body.
Let's just hope that my body responds earlier until December.
Give it the time.
Promise,
I
I
would
promise I will not do that to it anymore.
recommend. I mean, it's just life is all about learning and unlearning and relearning, right? It's a learning curve. Now you know that
Yeah,
probably maybe better for you to focus on, I don't know, 2 courses than four. Now you know what, you know,
my limitation is.
you know
Yeah.
that putting yourself into 4 courses is too much of a strain. And let's not forget, you are still recovering you are a cancer patient recovering. And this is
Yeah, yeah,
something that we, as much as alhamdulillah, it's over, your body is still potentially vulnerable. So
yeah.
you need to find that balance. It's remember, it's not just what you eat, what you drink, what you think, your stress and all of that can feed into cancer. It's not just what you're eating, but it's what you're feeling and how you process
No, no, I
stress.
know that. Yeah,
So
I know it's not
your
just the
body,
food.
yeah, so your body can potentially still be vulnerable. So take it easy. Take it easy with yourself.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna confess I didn't read any of the books. Is there anyone here? Because I don't want to take the time of
Which
anyone.
books?
Your books, I mean the readings you gave us. I only read the rest,
You mean
the
the
eating.
detox guide?
Yes.
Okay. What questions do you have?
What am I doing now? I'm following intuitively the books, the first plan, the 9 day plan, and
Okay.
I'm actually now focusing on the third part of it, which is basically I ate very minimal protein if I have to or I felt like it.
Okay.
But what is everyone doing on the program? What are they following?
Everybody's at a different phase. Some people are still repeating the 9 days over and over and over again. So doing the whole 9 day cycle from beginning to end. Some people have moved on to clean eating. So their symptoms have subsided, they're feeling better, or they just feel like they need a bit of a break from the deep detoxing. So they've moved
Which is
on.
what? What is
Sorry.
clean eating?
The
What
clean
is
eating
clean
is basically the you reintroduce animal protein on a daily basis. This is the main difference between deep detoxing and the hybrid and clean eating. Clean eating includes daily animal protein. The deep detox obviously only has it in the first 3 days. Hybrid also doesn't have it. Clean eating might also include a little bit of whole grains like lentils, maybe brown rice, but again, in very small quantities, so half a cup of cooked rice, and that's just like this much, or lentils.
eating?
And people are starting to experiment to see how their body reacts. So, because these are still on the inflammatory side, so even though, whole grains are like touted as healthy and all of that, they're still on the inflammatory side. They're still on the acidic side. So, some ladies have started to experiment with that to see how their body reacts if they bring in a little bit of rice, a little bit of lentils, bringing in different types of protein and different.
But
Um,
it has to be brown rice, right? Not white.
if you are going to bring in rice, it would have to be brown rice. I don't recommend it for any cancer patients, recovering cancer patients. I also recommend very little animal protein. So everybody's a little bit different depending on, first of all, their symptoms, if they had any diagnosed conditions, and then how their healing has progressed. So not everybody has healed at the same time, at the same speed, at the same intensity. Some people are still going through, especially the ladies who have reproductive issues, so like PCOS or endometriosis. You
Yeah.
can't really gauge the progress except once a month, when the cycle happens. So they're still waiting to see. Some of them have only just had a second cycle. They're just starting to see a bit of improvements. Other ladies who didn't have conditions like that, maybe the issue was just, indigestion. Maybe it was acid reflux. They've seen the improvement, so they can start to bring in a little bit more of the other foods and experiment. So at this point, it's not like at the beginning of the program where everybody was following the same plan. This is where it's become a little bit more individual.
Okay. And is it okay to do my smoothie every day and I include uh, the mango every day in my smoothie? Isn't that kind of can harm me at the long run?
No. I mean, if you're considering brown rice and mangoes, the brown rice is going to do a million times more harm than the mango. Mango is
No.
harmless. Brown rice is not.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I had one last question. What was it? I'm so foggy.
It's all right. Take your
Um, yeah, I remember.
time, Zainab.
Hi, Dana.
How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. I'm great.
Noha, did you want to take a moment to think of your question and I can see if Zainab has any questions?
Yes, yes, of course. Go ahead,
Let's do
please.
that. Go ahead, Zainab.
And I have a question that my husband keeps on telling me to ask you, but he wants to know why yogurt is not good.
Because it's dairy.
بس لو
What type of
جبنا
dairy?
like the fresh yogurt
It
حتى لو
doesn't
the
matter.
fresh
It
yogurt.
doesn't matter if any type of dairy, if we're talking yogurt, if we're talking cheese, if we're
Yeah.
talking milk, it doesn't matter. Okay, not that it doesn't matter. So obviously if you're getting yogurt from like the old-fashioned milk places, right? Versus like a Johaina
Yeah.
yogurt that's made
Yeah.
in a factory, okay? So
Mm.
it will be more fresh, let's say. You won't be able to keep it in your fridge for 2 weeks. It will go bad probably after 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
All right. So it doesn't have the preservatives, it doesn't have the additives. And if it's just plain yogurt as opposed to flavored yogurt, then you don't also have all the added sugar. All right. So it's a
Yeah.
higher, better grade of dairy, but at its core, it's still dairy. And dairy is highly inflammatory,
Yeah.
it's highly acidic.
تمام.
It disrupts hormones, men and women. For women, hormone disruption from dairy can show up as painful periods, PCOS, endometriosis, breast cancer. In men, it will show up in their prostate typically. So one of the things that can potentially lead to prostate issues in men, urinary tract issues, kidney issues, bladder issues in men is dairy. And it doesn't matter if you bought it from,
No.
a Khalifa بتاع اللبن, or you bought the one from a factory made
Yeah.
one. It's still going to have that effect on the body. It creates mucus. It erodes the body. There's no benefit. If you're
Mm.
talking calcium, I've listed for you in the group the plant-based sources of calcium that don't erode the body. Calcium also, dairy also, what it actually does is completely counterintuitive to the calcium argument because the more calcium, the more dairy you consume, because it's highly inflammatory and acidic, the body has a natural defense mechanism where, because it creates
Mhm.
heat in the body, along with other inflammatory foods, but because dairy creates an acidic environment, the body will naturally try to defend itself by pulling all of its alkaline minerals out of your bones. One of which is your own
Mm.
calcium. So calcium is a very alkaline mineral, so is magnesium. So every time you eat yogurt or cheese because you think you're getting calcium and it's good for you, what you're actually inadvertently doing is causing your body to leach its own sources of calcium to put out the heat
Mm.
from the dairy, which leaves you calcium deficient. So it's a very
Okay.
simple.
Yeah. Okay. بس plant based uh, which يعني
So all the
do you
leafy
get the
greens.
ones in the can ولا the ones اللي هي GoPro كده because I think the GoPro ones are not good اللي هو الالمند
No, no, no,
والcoconut
no, no. Those
the
are no.
barista ones
Those are no. I
لا
mean,
the
people
ones in the cans
people think you have to replace dairy with a non-dairy like oat milk or almond milk or coconut milk. No, you don't, especially the ones that come in the cans because
Mm.
those are just processed. They're just processed junk. If you look at the list of ingredients there, you're going to see seed oils, you're going to see something called carrageenan, which is a toxic, again, carcinogenic ingredient. You're going to see added sugars. If you want to have a non-dairy milk, there's a couple of places that sell them fresh that you can order from, or you can make it at home. But they
Yeah.
are not, it's not a direct replacement. Not because we've removed cow milk or, traditional dairy, that means we have to then replace it with non-dairy alternatives. You will get your
Replace it.
calcium from
Mm.
all the leafy greens, from broccoli, from okra, from, the lettuce. You'll get it from sesame seeds, from tahina, from oranges, from figs, from lots of different fruits. So we do not need to go to another processed source just because we've let go of dairy, the original dairy.
Mm. And I'm thinking for cooking and for the recipes and كده just to like in
If
clean eating
Give me an example.
diversify
Yeah.
things شوية
Like what kind of recipe? Give me an example.
like the quinoa risotto asparagus وبروكلي وكده. So the quinoa is the risotto if I cook it in coconut milk.
Yeah.
تمسك.
If this is something you're having as a one-off, right? Because remember I said nobody's 100%
Yeah.
perfect 100% of the time. So this would be something you would have as a one-off. I would then recommend you order the one that's freshly made. There's a company called
Okay.
Rawa, I think Rawa. I think I had shared the link in the group where they make them fresh. I would use that. And even if you don't, if you use the canned one, then try to make sure you find one with the least amount of ingredients. And if it's a one-off recipe, it's not the one-offs that we worry about generally, right?
Yeah.
It's things that you're consuming
Yeah.
regularly every single day for many days on end.
Yes.
So the one-offs are not what you should be concerned about.
Yeah. بس أنا أصلا حتى الحمد لله like now I feel like my perception on food ما شاء الله بجد thank you has changed completely. Like even if I'm craving junk
Yeah.
and I see other people eating it and I want it, well, I take like a bite straight
Yeah.
away. I don't want it anymore. I lose my appetite.
Yeah.
It feels like it doesn't resonate with me anymore. And it's like it's the craving and being and it's that mood and the herd mentality and
Yeah.
everyone's doing it وكده.
Yeah.
But when you take that bite على طول I'm like off it. يعني yesterday I ordered burgers with my friends. I just had a bite. I couldn't have any more.
Yeah.
Whereas the first time I slipped up, remember my first 9-day cycle, I ate everything and I went crazy and I was like so compulsive.
Yeah.
But now it's like خلاص that connection alhamdulillah is just like switching. I'm so thankful for that. يعني just wanted to say.
That's amazing. That's why I just remind everybody to take it slow. And it doesn't mean that you've done something wrong when you go and have a burger. Imagine how long your body has been programmed to eat the way you were eating before you came into the program. Like your whole life, right? Your whole
Yeah, but now I'm scared I get sick.
that is the other thing, right? So if and you do it, this is it's a valid fear. Like I don't want to do this because I know my body's going to have to protect me.
Respond,
It's
yeah.
going to respond. It's going to have to protect me. Is it worth it? Right? Is it worth it?
Exactly.
So
Is it worth
we'll reach a phase where it will not be worth it. That's not to say you will never have these foods again, but you will reach a phase where the body will react less intensely also. It will. So not every single time it's going to react like
Yeah.
the stronger you become, the more resilient your system becomes. You will go and have a burger. You might wake up the next day with a little bit of sniffles, like the body's trying to collect the toxins and mucus and get rid of it, but you go on. You move on. Not every single time, and you will see, but this will take time. You will be able to eat something that is not optimally healthy for you, and you will wake up the next day and move on. And that's what we're trying to get to, because obviously some people will choose to never have. It happens. Never again. There are some foods I definitely have chosen never to have again.
Yeah.
And I don't feel bad about it at all. I don't miss them. There are some things I love, some things that bring me sort of childhood memories, part of family tradition. So I become very picky. Like if I'm going to do this to my body, I'm only going to do it with very, very specific foods on very, very specific occasions. Not just because it's the weekend. Not just because everybody around me is doing it, right?
Yeah.
So it gives your body, the more weekends you can pass without bringing in the inflammatory foods, that's week after week of strengthening yourself and strengthening your system so that, in a month or two, when there's a special occasion, maybe for me, it's like whenever my mom makes traditional food, I will go and I will enjoy it guilt-free, and I will wake up the next day with minimal reaction. So that's what we want to get to, where you're symptom-free, minimal reaction from your body because it's resilient, and you get to consciously enjoy, not where you feel you are, a lot of women will say, but then I feel like I don't get to enjoy things, like I've taken joy away from my life. No, you reach a point where you realize the joy is not in eating the food that's going to make you, elicit a reaction the next day. The joy is in the experience, the joy is in your power, and you don't feel like you're missing out. That's where you want to get to, where you don't feel like you're missing.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
So I have this question that's related to what Zainab said about burgers.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I have to eat out, like even if I choose healthy options, like in the faculty lounge, they always provide like as if it was home cooked. But
Okay.
then I wonder, like even when I'm having an onion soup and meat and vegetables,
Yeah.
I wonder about the type of oil they use
Yep.
because I'm pretty sure they don't use uh they just use the normal kind, the
Yeah.
corn or the
Yeah. Rule of thumb, rule of thumb. You don't even have to think about it twice. Every single place you're eating at outside of your home, every single restaurant, the most expensive to the cheapest is using a seed oil. Every
yeah.
single one. Yeah.
So basically there's nothing we can do about that.
There
You
is
just
nothing
have
you
to
can do.
minimize the amount of times you eat out.
Yes. And there are some, you know, there are some food items that might have less, for example, maybe if you take a salad, obviously, and take this dressing off
Yeah.
the side, you know that you'll be choosing how much to put in. If you take something that's strictly grilled, suppose technically it shouldn't have anything on it. If it's a grilled steak, if it's grilled chicken, it's the other things like if you ask for and you think you're being really healthy and you think you're being safe, if you ask for sautéed vegetables, they're going to be sautéed in the oil. If you soup, they're going to saute whatever vegetable they turn that into a soup, that's going to be in oil. Any sauce is going to be in the oil. So it's one of those things you weigh out, right? You weigh
Mhm.
out. So you're not having the seed oil every single day anymore. You're going to have it whenever you go out, knowing. So the being aware of it is the biggest thing. And because some people will say, I just went out and I had grilled chicken and I had, sauteed vegetables and a salad, and I came home so sick the next day. And that can be really confusing. Like, what did I do wrong? You weren't aware that that whole meal, although technically healthy, was made with seed oils.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's the only thing that makes it and how it's so repetitive as well يعني you're eating fruits and vegetables every day and it's the same thing gets to be boring يعني ف
Sometimes, yeah.
This is the point where now when you're settled in this routine and you understand the basics, like we follow the formula at the beginning because it's so new, just eating fruits and vegetables, right? So we have very basic recipes, very basic formula. Now that you're into it and now that you understand, this is where you get to be creative, start looking up, uh, vegetable recipe only, vegan, because also not vegan, because sometimes when you Google vegan, you'll get lots of grains, you'll get lots of wheat.
yeah
So
yeah
you want to start looking like vegetable only soup, vegetable only
Mhm.
main dish, different types of fruit, different types of fruit salads, different types of smoothies. There's lots and lots of stuff that you can start to look online and get creative for yourself with your favorite ingredients. One of my favorite things to look up is like one pan protein and vegetable dinners where everything is made in one
Mm.
pan. So maybe it's salmon with broccoli and what saves you time. Maybe it's chicken with like bell peppers and onions and something else. All the one pan vegetable plus protein dinner options. Some of them have sauces, some of them will have dairy. You can just omit that and just make it easy with spices. But that's something I always look for. Like, how can I just stick with for the main meals, vegetables and protein? And how can it be quick and easy? And typically, the one pan options are the best way to do that.
Mm. Okay.
Mm. So the
I feel like I had
hybrid,
so many questions and now it's like I can't remember anything.
Well, it's whatever you don't remember now. I mean,
Okay.
obviously, we have Wednesday
Yeah.
again. But then you can also
Mhm.
just put them all in the group. Like once they all come to you,
Yes,
list them all
I'll
in.
do that.
Yeah. Know how you were saying something?
yeah, I was asking about the hybrid option.
Yeah.
It's basically I can eat. It's different than the clean eating. The clean eating is you can't eat any protein, right? Any animal protein.
No, in the clean eating, you can. In the hybrid, there isn't. The difference between hybrid and the deep detox mainly is in the breakfast, especially as we get into cooler weather. So in the hybrid, you have some breakfast options that are not just smoothies, where there's basically potatoes. If you feel like waking up and you have your lemon water and celery and you want to have a potato bake, you can do that. There's also, I think, tahina in some of the vegetable recipes. You have another potato salad. So we just add in a little bit more variety with the vegetables. There's also another smoothie. So it starts to give you a little bit more variety than the deep detox.
This is with the hybrid?
This is the hybrid. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm probably not following one, I'm just following the three at the same time. Is that okay?
Remember what I said at the beginning, you can't do this program wrong. As long as you're eating some combination of fruits, vegetables, and animal protein only, then you are at some level of detoxing. At some level, if you're doing only
Yeah.
fruits and vegetables, then you're deep detoxing. If you're doing the hybrid, it's a little bit of a slower paced detox, not as fast as the deep one because it doesn't have juicing also. And then the clean eating, you're still detoxing, but it's a much, much slower pace of detoxing. So if you are doing, fruits, vegetables with a little bit of protein here and there, you're still detoxing. And we know because as soon as you had nuts, look at what your body did.
And what about Ramadan? I saw you made a group for it, right?
Yes, so Ramadan, I made a group for Ramadan. Ramadan is more of a clean eating the whole month, just to take into account,
Yeah, because of
that
the
it's
fasting.
the season. Not because you're fast, you could do the deep detox while you're fasting, 100%. But and I do have, you'll see when you get the meal plan. This year I'm running the Ramadan detox. It's usually a paid program like all my other programs, but I've decided this year to do it for free. So once we get closer to it, I will release the meal plan. I do give everybody the option of doing first 10 days as a deep detox. It's not because you're not eating that you need to like eat more when it's time for thought. And I talk about that in length once we get to that process. But because of the fact that a lot of people are eating out or they have invitations over in their homes, so we try and accommodate that. But it's basically a clean eating plan: fruits,
Mm.
vegetables, and animal protein. Yeah.
No yogurt?
No yogurt. Definitely no yogurt. No yogurt, no dairy. Nope.
Like
It
that was a
doesn't change.
constant for me.
Yeah, I know. It's acidic. It's acidic
Yeah.
coming. It's
Even the Greg yogurt?
no yogurt, zero, no dairy. It makes
Yeah.
people sick. Dairy is not a healing food.
Yeah.
It leads to illness. So yeah, people who do the Ramadan detox with me, they're very surprised at first, but then they end up having the best Ramadan they've had in their life when they do it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll take that
Thank
one day at a time. We'll worry about that when it happens.
thank
You're welcome.
you. Oh, I think Zainab left.
Yeah.
Orange.
Do you have any other questions for me?
No. No, thank you. I don't.
Please keep me posted, whether in the group or in private, about how you're starting to feel and how you're coming out of this. I know that it feels counterintuitive, but lemon water and ginger is incredibly healing, even for acid reflux, because it has nothing to do with the acidity of the lemon. Honey,
Ginger?
lemon water with ginger, yes.
I mean, I even skipped my lemon water today because I was too scared.
No, the
And
lemon,
I have ginger in my fridge and I don't use it at
yeah,
all because I have this trauma of if I use ginger, it's gonna trigger my reflux and I
you're
don't know where to add it.
make your warm lemon water, shred some fresh ginger into it, just shred it straight in and add a big tablespoon of honey to that. I would also drink
Um,
the lemon balm tea. I don't know if you have that or not. Lemon balm tea. The lemon balm is a medicinal herb that helps to relax the nerves of the digestive system. So this will also help you.
where can I buy it from? Does it MTN sell it?
No, not imtinent. I think it's called Melissa. The technical scientific term is called Melissa. I think you can find it potentially on Amazon. So if you want to get it maybe delivered by tomorrow. The other place was El Attar, if you know El Attar supermarket. They would also have it. Those are the two
No, I don't.
easiest access places that I know of.
Yeah, the first one is you said because the sound cut off.
Oh,
Did you say
Amazon. You can check on Amazon.
Amazon? Yeah.
Yeah, and type in
Okay, I'll check it
Melissa.
on.
Type in Melissa because that's the scientific name for lemon balm. It's called
Okay.
Melissa
Okay.
something. And then the other place would be El Attar supermarket.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I hope your body heals you sooner than later, but keep reminding yourself of how powerful your body is and how it's just responding and working for you. Nothing has gone wrong at all. You are developing the communication skills between you and your body. And as difficult as it feels, it is incredibly, incredibly powerful process for you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Have, rest the rest of today and please keep me posted. And just a reminder for anybody watching the replays, we're only doing Q&As now every Monday and every Wednesday at the same time at 12 p.m. Last time nobody showed up, so I waited 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I can't remember. And then I turned off the call. So if you want to be on a Q&A Zoom session call, please be on time because I will go off the call if nobody shows up. All right, ladies? So every Monday, every Wednesday at 12 p.m. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all on Wednesday, inshallah.
Sure.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye.